I've said it many times, and I can say it one more time, but it's all up to everyone else to have a different opinion or the same opinion as I have. But if you come from a different league and you have to play every 2 days, and there are so many away games need to be played against certain style of plays, you need to adapt to that. And that goes almost for everyone, let alone for a player that's 22. And I think he's working incredibly hard to adapt as soon as he can, and he's been so unlucky throughout his career here at Liverpool, because even today he created so many chances for the team, but the goal we scored, it wasn't an assist or a goal from him. I wouldn't even say give him a bit of time, because we gave him already that time to adapt. I played him many times for him to adapt to the Premier League, but I didn't play him every single game, because that's not what I do with almost any player, but also not with players that either missed pre-season or very young or come from a different league, and they need a little bit of time to adapt. If you have 2 days of rest after the Frankfurt game and you have to go away to Brentford, that's different probably than go away, have an away game in the Bundesliga or in the Eredivisie or in any other league in the world, because this league is the best paid league I think in the world. Over 20 teams, so you can understand that so many great individuals and athletes are playing here, mainly from 25 to 30, and at some teams you'll also see 22-year-olds.
7 weeks. That's how long it had been since Florian Wirtz last started a match at Anfield. 7 weeks of doubt.
Generally at Liverpool, that there's no concerns at all. I think ultimately, you pay that money for a player because there's hope that in the end they've got the quality to come good.
Headlines.
What I'm saying is, it's like you've got to. I'm not expecting to see the Bayer Leverkusen Florian Wirtz in the first 7 games, but I'm expecting to see him improve. Just little glimpses where you think, okay, he can get there. You haven't seen much at all, really.
And endless speculation about whether Liverpool had made a mistake spending £116 million on a German prodigy who suddenly couldn't find his rhythm. The buzz that once surrounded his arrival from Bayer Leverkusen had turned into noise. Analysts, pundits, even legends like Arsene Wenger questioned his fit.
Liverpool, at the moment, they spend a lot of money for Isaac, for Wirtz, and when you go for that kind of money, the pressure on the players is big. If they don't deliver instantly, it's very different. And on top of that, they lost a little bit their balance with these 2 players.
Some said his signing had unbalanced Liverpool's midfield. Others claimed his brilliance was overrated, that he didn't belong in the chaos of the Premier League.
I feel personally that I just don't feel that Arne Slot has found the right way to put him in this Liverpool side with other players around, because he's a number 10 for me. Yeah. He's a number 10 that has to be in behind the striker. You have to have him in the middle of the pitch, on the half turn, in the final third, to make things happen.
But to make those statements, you had to be blind, because Wirtz isn't the kind of player you measure with goals or assists alone.
Wirtz takes and turns. What a pass for Moussa Diaby!
He's the heartbeat you don't hear until it stops. And while his adaptation was slower than Arne Slot and everyone expected, when he finally touches his rhythm, Liverpool transforms. Every flick, every turn, every perfectly weighted pass reveals a footballing intelligence that can't be taught. In his early months, there were flashes, a commanding second half against Arsenal, a breathtaking backheel to Mohamed Salah versus Chelsea, 2 assists in the 5-1 demolition of Eintracht Frankfurt.
Alter, so einen Sahnepass habe ich noch nie in meinem Leben gesehen.
And a lively cameo against Manchester United. Those glimpses were not coincidences, they were warnings. Still, in a squad overloaded with talent, Slot had to balance the machine before unleashing the artist. Critics called it hesitation. In truth, it was preparation. And then came the night that changed everything. A night under the Anfield lights where Wirtz didn't just silence the doubters, he orchestrated them.
А это потенциальная атака, и вот побежал Ливерпуль, и вот полетел. Подача Виртца. Момент, удар.
Because against Real Madrid, Florian Wirtz didn't just play football. He reminded the world why Arne Slot was right all along, and why nobody believed him until it was too late. Florian Wirtz didn't need a goal or an assist to make Anfield gasp. His football did the talking. From the first whistle, he looked like a man on a mission to prove he belonged. 10 minutes in, he sprinted all the way to the corner flag, hunting down Dean Howson, stealing the ball like a thief in the night, and linking with Szoboszlai to set up McAllister for Liverpool's first real chance. Minutes later, he threaded a gorgeous through ball for Hugo Ekitike on the break, a move straight out of his Leverkusen playbook. Fast, vertical, and fearless. At the 26-minute mark, Wirtz's intelligence shone again, pressing Camavinga, winning the ball and instantly feeding McAllister, only for the referee to accidentally cut the play short. But his momentum didn't stop there. A minute later, he exploded down the right flank, slicing Madrid open and delivering a perfect cutback to Szoboszlai, who was denied only by an impossible Courtois save. Then came his most underrated moment, a silky, almost telepathic exchange of passes with Ekitike in the tightest of spaces, right outside Madrid's box. Every touch was controlled chaos, every pass perfectly weighted, every decision made in a heartbeat. It might not sound spectacular on paper, but in real time, it was pure rhythm, fast and alive. In a half defined by elite technical football, no one carried more creative threat than Wirtz. And perhaps the most telling detail of all, he did it not from his natural number 10 position, but from the left flank, adapting flawlessly to Slot's system and proving that Liverpool's £116 million gamble was never a mistake, just a masterpiece in progress. Liverpool's recent collapse, 4 straight Premier League defeats, 6 losses in 7 games, had every critic sharpening their knives, and somehow Florian Wirtz became the easiest target.
Florian Wirtz, he is the worst Premier League signing in history.
But the truth runs much deeper than one young German trying to find his rhythm in England. Arne Slot himself has said it plainly. Teams have found a way to play against us. The problem isn't one player. It was a structural crisis, a team caught between what it was and what it's trying to become. Liverpool's bold £400 million rebuild was supposed to mark a new era. Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike, all meant to refresh an aging core. Instead, it left the system unbalanced, the chemistry off, and the press, once Liverpool's deadliest weapon, completely dismantled. The result? A team that no longer dominates, but reacts. The high press that used to suffocate opponents is now bypassed by long balls over. 571 passes of 32 meters or more faced this season, more than any other side in the league. That's 20% of all opponent passes, an absurd number that exposes the space behind Liverpool's defense again and again.
That's driven into us. Munoz and snapped up by Salah.
The metrics back it up. Liverpool have dropped from 2.74 to 2.22 tackles per game in the final third. Now one of the weakest pressing teams in England. The intensity is still there, but the efficiency is gone. They're running just as much, but achieving far less. Add to that a chaotic front line. Isak still lacks match rhythm. Ekitike is fighting for consistency, and Salah, forced into a more central role, looks uncomfortable and isolated. The same Salah who once thrived on freedom and space now seems trapped inside a box of tactical rigidity. The left flank misfires. Robertson has slowed with age, and Frimpong, though explosive, can't replace Alexander-Arnold's deep creativity. But there's hope. Bradley's return has been a revelation.
Now Brahim Diaz is leading the counter, and Mbappe's off and accelerating, and across comes Conor Bradley. And Anfield has just erupted at that young man's tackle.
And Robertson's last 2 matches showed flashes of the old balance. It's not perfect yet, but Slot may have found the first signs of stability. So yes, the critics can talk, Wenger can point fingers, but the numbers and the pitch say otherwise. Liverpool's problems go far beyond Wirtz. Slot's team is still in the middle of its metamorphosis, and the German playmaker, unlucky as he's been, might just be the piece that makes the new Liverpool click. And maybe it's time we look at the game footage again, because as Slot hinted, Wirtz's supposed bad luck tells a very different story. What Arne Slot has been saying all along now makes perfect sense. Florian Wirtz hasn't been poor, he's been unlucky. The numbers don't tell the full story, because if you actually watch him play, you see a footballer who's constantly creating danger, building chances, and doing everything right except finding the finishing touch or the final assist. Take the Bournemouth game. Wirtz slipped a brilliant ball through to Van Dijk, perfectly placed for a shot, but the captain's attempt was blocked by the defense. Moments later, he fed McAllister inside the box, but again, the finish didn't come.
Bournemouth are there for the taking right now. McAllister, Anthony Taylor needs to move. Oh, McAllister!
Against Chelsea, the story repeated. A lovely 1-2 with Gakpo, followed by a genius through ball that left Salah completely alone in front of goal. And still, no conversion. Versus Eintracht Frankfurt, he headed a lopping pass that landed right at Chiesa's feet, one-on-one with the keeper. But the Italian failed to score. And in the Champions League against Real Madrid, Wirtz created what could have been the moment of the night. After exploiting a defensive mistake, he looked up, spotted Szoboszlai free, and delivered a perfect assist, only for Courtois to pull off another miracle save. Then there are moments when he's been ignored. Against Manchester United, he was completely free beside Salah, with the goal wide open, but the Egyptian chose to shoot himself and missed. Wirtz could only look up in disbelief.
What you know about rolling down in the deep?
Yet even without scoring, he's been decisive. Against Frankfurt, he picked up 2 assists the first, a quick, selfless touch to Szoboszlai for a thunderous strike.
Wirtz. Szoboszlai.
The second, a perfect through ball for Gakpo, who simply tapped it in.
Аккуратная передача, момент, и покатить можно на Коди Гак.
You can also see the chemistry building. Against Galatasaray, he combined effortlessly with Ekitike, delivering a first-time pass that split the defense. Minutes later, another gorgeous chip ball to Isak showed that his vision isn't luck, it's instinct. And while his first Liverpool goal hasn't arrived yet, you can feel it coming. He's been bold enough to try. Against Newcastle, he received the ball at the edge of the box and fired towards goal, saved by the keeper.
To Ekitike.
Against Crystal Palace, he found space in the area and struck cleanly, only for another incredible stop to deny him again. The conclusion, Florian Wirtz isn't out of form. He's on the verge. The execution is there. The ideas are flowing, and the confidence is returning. The goals will come, and when they do, everyone who doubted him will finally understand what Arne Slot saw from day one. Florian Wirtz's quality has never been in question. It's recognized across Europe. Let's not forget, he was the most valuable midfielder in the Bundesliga for 3 consecutive years, and the man who carried Bayer Leverkusen to their first ever league title, contributing to 38 goals in one historic season. What we're seeing now at Liverpool isn't a lack of talent, it's the natural process of adaptation. As Arne Slot has said repeatedly, the issue isn't ability, it's adjustment. I've said it many times and I'll say it again, Slot explained. When you come from a different league and suddenly play every few days against completely different styles, you need time to adapt. That's especially true for a 22-year-old. He's working incredibly hard to do that, and he's been so unlucky even to date. He created so many chances for the team. And Slot is right. Wirtz started 5 of Liverpool's first 6 Premier League games, but only 1 of the following 4. For a young player changing country, language, and tactical culture, that's a steep learning curve. But there's nothing wrong with that. Football is full of stories like his. Thierry Henry.
Sidestepping 1, sidestepping 2!
Robert Pires.
Defenders on the near post. Now then, can Pires get in behind here? Boateng's around him. Pires, oh, beautiful skill. Can he finish?
and Dennis Bergkamp
over there too. Bergkamp is making a run to the edge of the area. Perez has found him. Dennis Bergkamp is in.
all needed time to adapt before becoming Premier League icons. David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne
Mahrez, Gundogan alongside him, it goes to De Bruyne!
who both struggled at Chelsea, blossomed only later at Manchester City. Even Didier Drogba didn't truly explode until his third year at Stamford Bridge.
Getting in the box there for them, but Chelsea once again.
Drogba, oh yes! Didier Drogba! And Chelsea are ahead!
And who can forget that Luka Modric, now a Ballon d'Or winner, was voted the worst signing in La Liga during his first months at Real Madrid. The impatience of modern football often blinds people to this truth. Young players, even world-class ones, need rhythm, trust, and time.
So there's so much focus on Florian, but the ones that have stayed behind still in the team haven't scored 4 goals or 12 assists as well. So he's been part of a team, Florian, that is on top of the league, that won 4 games. He's part of the team that won against Newcastle, that won against Arsenal, where the team of last season didn't win away at Newcastle, didn't win at home against Arsenal. So it's the way you want to look at it. Yes, he hasn't scored 4 goals or 12 assists in the first 4 games, but for me that's down to the quality we faced.
Wirtz has all the raw materials, and unlike others, he's in the right club, under the right manager, at the right stage of his career. And the Madrid match proved it. His off-ball work was astonishing. According to UEFA's post-match data, he covered 11.4 kilometers, nearly a full kilometer more than any other player on the pitch.
Игроков Ливерпуля сумасшедшее давление. Попытка Чуамини сделать точный пас не получилось. Подкат, потом от Хьюйсона очень неудачный. Виртц мяч подбирает в центре штрафной, один Сабаслай.
It wasn't just running for the sake of it. It was tactical, intelligent movement, pressing with purpose, tracking back when needed, and stretching Madrid's structure every time Liverpool attacked. As Szoboszlai summed it up perfectly after the game, he just kept on running. Slot got the tactics spot on, and Wirtz was the clearest example of that. Let's break down what he did on the ball in that Madrid game. From the very first minutes, it was clear that Arne Slot's plan revolved around Florian Wirtz drifting inside. Starting nominally from the left wing in Liverpool's 4-2-3-1, the German refused to stay wide. Instead, he kept sliding into the half spaces, turning that static formation into something far more dynamic. Every movement inward felt calculated. When Wirtz abandoned the touchline, Andy Robertson immediately surged forward into the empty lane, stretching Madrid's defensive line and forcing them to defend wider than they wanted. Meanwhile, Wirtz positioned himself closer to McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai, linking short passes and forming a compact midfield unit that suffocated Madrid's double pivot. That constant inside movement didn't just help Liverpool keep possession, it tilted the entire tactical balance of the match. By creating a numerical advantage in central zones, Wirtz ensured that Madrid's midfield trio were always outnumbered and outmaneuvered. Slot's idea was simple, but devastatingly efficient. Let Robertson hold the width, and let Wirtz become the hidden playmaker inside. Throughout the first half, Robertson and Mohamed Salah were key in maintaining Liverpool's width, constantly making runs in behind Madrid's defensive line. Even when they didn't receive the ball, their movement stretched Madrid horizontally, forcing gaps to appear between defenders and midfielders. Those gaps were exactly what Liverpool's interior players, especially Florian Wirtz, were looking to exploit. Each time Wirtz drifted inside, one of Liverpool's midfielders would drop out of the central zones to keep the structure balanced. This rotation confused Madrid's shape, and every time Wirtz moved centrally, he dragged Dean Howson out of the defensive line. That single movement created a pocket of space that Liverpool immediately tried to attack. Up front, Hugo Ekitike complemented those rotations perfectly. Instead of staying central, he carved his runs outward, targeting Eder Militao's weaker side. While Wirtz manipulated the central defenders through positioning, his diagonal movements and off-ball intelligence helped Liverpool repeatedly attack Madrid's blind spot, turning Slot's tactical plan into a constant positional puzzle for the Spanish champions. Every time a Real Madrid player, usually from the flanks, stepped forward to press Liverpool's midfield trio, Ryan Gravenberch, Alex McAllister, and Dominik Szoboszlai handled it with calm precision. Their reading of the game was exceptional. They knew exactly when to quicken the tempo, when to recycle possession, and when to release the ball to the free man out wide. That outlet was almost always Connor Bradley. His freedom came as the natural consequence of Liverpool's positional intelligence. Vinicius Jr. pushing high in the press, Salah's wide positioning pinning back Madrid's fullback, and Wirtz's inward movement drawing defenders towards the middle. The result was a structural imbalance that Liverpool exploited time and time again. Once Bradley was involved in the build-up, the picture would quickly shift. Liverpool could now feed Wirtz or Ekitike between the lines, confronting Madrid's central defenders directly, while Salah maintained a constant threat on the far side. That sequence almost paid off just before halftime. Wirtz's pinpoint cross found Szoboszlai in space, forcing Thibaut Courtois into a stunning one-on-one save that kept Madrid alive. It was the perfect illustration of Slot's tactical orchestration, width, rotation, and timing executed with surgical precision. In the second half, Liverpool refined their structure even further, placing more players between Madrid's defensive and midfield lines. This adjustment came as a direct response to Madrid's attempt to stay compact with Mbappe and Bellingham dropping deeper and the midfield retreating closer to the back four. Sensing that shift, Arne Slot instructed Connor Bradley to push higher up the right flank, effectively becoming a wingback, while Florian Wirtz continued drifting centrally from the left. That movement forced Madrid to constantly reshuffle, unsure whether to follow Wirtz inside or hold their width against Bradley's overlapping runs. Liverpool's combinations on the right, particularly between Bradley, Salah, and Szoboszlai, worked brilliantly to bypass Madrid's second line of pressure. However, as Madrid sat deeper, most of Liverpool's attacking play began unfolding directly in front of their final line. Even so, the Reds' positional structure and fluid rotations kept them in full control, dictating both rhythm and territory against a Madrid side that could only react, never anticipate. Florian Wirtz's rise at Liverpool feels inevitable. The intelligence, movement, and courage he's already shown against elite opposition reveal a player built for the Premier League, one still learning its rhythm but already shaping its tempo. Arne Slot's trust has been unwavering, and with every match, Wirtz's chemistry with his teammates grows sharper. The talent is undeniable, the adaptation is in progress, and the breakthrough is only a matter of time. And when it happens, Liverpool won't just have a great signing, they'll have a generational playmaker.